Hello, and welcome to the Shootout with Penny. I'm Penny, and this is my co host today, Shark. We have
Hello.
an incredible show for you today, filled with a ton of surprise guests. We're coming to you live from the Place Your Trades Network. Today, we will be talking about a lot of different things, but mostly event contracts. Today's podcast is brought to you by Tradeovate, which has built a custom app dedicated to trading event contracts. This is where we're all this is what we're all using at Place Your Trades. Use the link in the chat to start using the Tradeovate app for free, where you can follow along and make your own picks. And make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and set notifications so you never miss our podcast. Shark, hello.
Yeah. Hello, Penny.
Okay, so I have some exciting news. For the first time ever, I'm
Oh.
I'm
Oh.
reissuing the boner mug.
So,
You,
such a by popular demand. I mean, I think this is a great idea. I mean, who doesn't love, the boner mug, of
who
course.
doesn't love the boner? You cannot buy this anywhere. This is a limited edition re-release, and I will be giving away 10 of them today.
Oh,
This is
wow.
the best coffee mug I've ever used. The matte black, we picked that because, we love this design. We love the way it looks. It's very minimal. It also has the Penny Lane podcast here on the back. Go Penny Lane Pod. We've got Bofo today. So we've got the real Penny Lane Pod crew in the
Wow, the
house.
crew. Yeah,
The
yeah.
crew.
I know.
I mean, I understand that this is backwards, but have you ever seen a better mug in your life?
No, I love the mat. Especially love that. And of course it's got your logo, and the boner candle is very apropos for today, of course, with the moves that we
Exactly.
saw in the market.
My
So,
God, Spy had a Viagra moment. Anthony's going to yell at me later for saying that, but I think it did. Okay, so here is how you can get your free boner mug. Go to Place Your Trades, the website right now. I believe that there is a link in the top of the YouTube chat. It's placeyourtrades.com. All you have to do is enter your email. Anybody who enters their email from 3 o'clock to 4 p.m. Eastern Time today will be entered to win this amazing mug that you can't buy anywhere, and we'll send it to you for free. So make sure you're signed up. This is the best mug. Shark, hi, welcome to the show.
hello again.
Hello,
Wow.
hello. So we had a wild day today. I mean,
Oh man.
CPI came out. That's over my head. We had PPI
Yeah.
this week,
I mean.
CPI this week. I don't know what those things mean, but you do.
Yeah, it was definitely, a really interesting reaction. I think, CPI print came in lower than it was last print, but just I think barely over expectation. So I think it was pretty, muted. And then, when the buyers started stepping in and broke over a couple of supply levels. I think a lot of bears got caught off sides. New momentum traders came in, and I think just before we went live, SPY made a new high a day. So
Of course it
yeah,
did.
it was a great yeah, it was definitely a powerful move. So it was a lot of people were really surprised, but.
So I put in orders for puts before the open. And then
Nice. As one does, I guess.
sure, as like a real gambler does. So we opened and I had IWM puts in, and I meant to buy 4 puts, but I fat fingered it and had 14.
Oh, oh,
14, 14
oh.
puts in
That's
open.
a nice good morning for you.
It was like, oh, I'm either about to be very rich or lose my whole account. So,
Oh my God.
I actually would like to give a massive shout out to Pax, who is on the Place Your Trades Network, for letting me know that today was going to be bullish. He let me know right when that order went through. And of course, Hugh Henney had sent out a little thing before the market that was like, I'm a buyer today. I'm like, you're a SPY buyer? Like, none of that made sense to me because I'm
Yeah.
all in on the puts. But as soon as I saw those two things, I went ahead and closed my puts
Right.
while they were green, flipped
Wow.
to the calls, and felt like
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
graduate school now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. There's no better feeling, when if you do something like that. I mean, you just feel like, you just made the 3-pointer, but we were talking about that. You lived out some Mamba mentality that you've been doing it.
I attacked
you
the day.
attacked the day. Yeah, there you go.
I attacked the day. I was talking on the phone with Shark last night, and I'm watching this new basketball documentary. It was called The Redeem Team. If you haven't seen it, Trevor, hopefully you've seen it, and we can talk about it later. It's called The Redeem Team, which is about the U.S. men's basketball team in China. And my boy Kobe Bryant came in at the last minute, and there was a story about him getting up at 4:30 every morning to work out while the rest of the team was out partying. Watch the show, set my alarm for 6 o'clock the next morning, and I'm like, Mamba mentality, I'm going to attack the day. It goes off at 6 o'clock. My husband was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm attacking the day. And he was like, are you really? And I was like, attack is off. I didn't even hit a snooze. I just hit the reject. Got up at my normal 7:30. I didn't.
Yeah. Well, it was a delay. Today you attacked the day, so that's great. That's great. I thought myself that there would be a little bit of a bounce. We were pretty extended to the downside, but then I was thinking we would bounce up and then roll over, but no, that definitely did not happen. So as the boys in the opening print like to say, I was caught offsides today. I admit that. So, yeah.
God,
so a lot of people were. Yeah.
The opening print is a great show.
Yeah.
A lot of people were caught offsides. Was that a squeeze? What happened? Did people think the bottom?
Yeah. It was new buyer. Momentum buyers, and once we broke over those levels, and that's just it was a classic move. So.
Well, people are smarter than me because I was all in on the puts, clearly. You know what? Now that we are 50 minutes from market close on the most exciting market day of 2022, some would say, I just said, let's actually go ahead and bring Bofo in and let's make a couple trades.
Well, let's do it.
Yo.
Hey, Bo. Wait, I need Shark back. How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
You're home.
I'm home.
There he is.
Here I am.
Hey, brother. Good to see you.
You too, bro.
So those of you who don't know Bofo, those of you who don't know about me, I started a podcast called the Penny Lane Podcast, and Bofo is my co-host on that. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get your podcast. Every week, and we chat with traders mostly about market mentality, and Bo's the best co-host, so welcome.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. Do you have a boner mug?
I do have a boner mug. It's one of my favorite mugs.
Thank you for that. You guys in the audience, make sure you enter that email address. It's a great mug. So, Bo, how were things in Pennyland today?
They started really slow. It was a rude awakening to come back to the market today. I'm mostly a small caps trader, and I've been on the road for a couple of weeks, so I haven't traded. And we had a lot of stuff breaking down, just kind of felt like September again. But then, the market went crazy, and that did kind of bleed over into small caps here midday. So I caught some heat, got back to the green, took my money, and shut things down.
Yeah,
the Bofo bounce, if you will.
Yes, it was a Bofo bounce today. I did start red.
All right, well, let's go. Let's make a couple event contract picks. So for those of you who are new and don't know what an event contract is, it's very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to do the S&P right now. All we're going to do is answer this question. Will the S&P close above 3,700? That's That's all you got to answer. Bo, I need a yes or a no from you.
Oh my gosh. At
We
this
are
point,
at
I gotta say yes.
$36.95, and we've
Yeah,
got.
I'm joining trend here.
All right, let's go. Let's have a yes. Boom. Done. All right, Shark. What do you have?
What are we gonna do?
Are you a yes or a
for
no?
this one, I'm gonna say. Well, I want to see the chart here. Well, let me just look at where we are.
Can you show the
we
chart
gonna
again,
are we gonna close over? No, I'm gonna have to go with a no on that one.
You're gonna go with a no. I think this might be what.
But then again, ES. Well, I know these are for ES. I'm looking at SPY here. But is it already over 727?
I mean, we're knocking on the door, Shark.
Yeah, but it's for if we're gonna close, and I don't think so. That's a big level. I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna rotate down.
He's fighting trend.
So
all right, now. let's take a no for Shark. Boom. Why not? It's just money, right? We're negative $28 on the day. Let's see. I'm heavy in oil today. Based on Ariel's tweet today about oil and gas names, I decided to really go long on oil. So she needs to come back for me.
Penny, you're changing. I was expecting just to see all copper event contracts in there.
Boom,
I don't know. You're changing.
I'm a new woman. You know, I'm
I don't think I've ever heard you introduce yourself as Penny, by the way.
Did I do that today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm under a lot of pressure for this show. I really want it to go well. I blacked out for the whole opening read. I'm glad we made it through. All right. Well, we have a few more minutes here. Alex, if you could please close down the screen share and just put our three faces up. Bo, I'm glad to see you. How are you feeling with your trading mentality these days?
I'm feeling good. I am making my way into full-time trading slowly but surely. And so, yeah, about time, right? And my trajectory has been a positive one. So just trying to keep that going, and it's going well so far. So yeah, I think my discipline's as sharp as it ever has been, and that kind of has to be the case in this market because it's very unforgiving right now.
You know, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
We've been on this journey, you know, for a while, and you've been wanting to go full time, and what a step. I can't wait to see you flourish.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit gradual for me, but the ball is rolling now.
You know what you need? Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality. Yeah, that's right. That
kills. Yeah. Well, are you once you sort of took that step, are you feeling good and confident? Are you feeling scared? How are you feeling after crossing that into, yes, I'm going to be a full-time trader?
I think that's something that I've always known was going to happen. So it's not really that it's new, you know, it's just kind of putting things into motion. I mean, the scariest thing, to be honest, is just the kind of global and economic outlook that's pretty much external to me. Like when it comes to my trading skill and understanding of the market, like that continues to improve because I work hard and I've surrounded myself with people who do the same. And so the boat kind of rises together. So I don't really have concerns about that. You know, it feels like a crazy time to be stepping away from a career. You know, it seems like there's a lot of fear out there, you know, outside of the market included. So I don't know, that's kind of where my head's at. But in terms of my trading, I feel great.
Well, I actually have a podcast that you were not able to join me on that's coming out today with Michael DT Trades. You know, we love him, big Penny Lane pod favorite. And we were talking about the importance of surrounding yourself with people who are going to level you up. And you have done that in a beautiful way. And you're getting stronger every day. I just am so thrilled for you. And I know that's every trader's dream, right? Is to be free.
Yeah. And that's huge. I wish I was on that podcast to talk about that with you guys, because it's so true surrounding and it's not just for trading, it's anything, right? If you surround yourself by people that have got the, mentality about what they're pursuing, they're disciplined about it, they treat it like a job. We don't sacrifice on our rules or our disciplines, and we're all trying to level up together. And so the work ethic, goes around the circle. I mean, they've also just become my best friends and emotional support system too, which is a big deal. So yeah, I mean, I hit the absolute jackpot in that regard, and that's probably my biggest success of my trading career.
Do you want to give we're wrapping up here. Do you want to give a little shout out to your friends, your Discord? Where can people find you if they want to trade with you?
Yeah, I'm in the Goblin Gang Discord. That's with Tommy and Gary, Fizz, Herv, Mikey, Zen. Those are like my family now. So I'm in there every day.
You're one of those people in my life who makes me want to take big leaps and be my best self. And what a thing to be for someone else. You're just such a shining light.
And all I ever tell you is how I'm so impressed about how you do not let anything stand in the way of your dreams. And I'm just waiting for one of them to moonshot. I mean, is it going to be art? Is it going to be shoes? Is it going to be media? What's it going to be? So, I mean, likewise, you got to say the same.
I'm also waiting for one of those things. Trying. All right, Bo. I love you so much. Thank you for coming on.
Love you.
Hey, man, great seeing you. Keep us posted. I love seeing your all your progress. Like you said, I've been, seeing your posts. It's just great, man. So
thanks, bro. Hey, I want to see you in New York.
No, I'm coming.
We'll be there. Yes.
No. Yes, I can only be there Friday night, but I'm coming. I wouldn't miss my friends. All right. Speaking of people that help you level up, let's bring on my favorite and yours, Real Simple Ariel.
Here he is.
How we doing?
Ariel. Hello. Actually, Alex, you can remove Bo. Bye, Bo.
Sorry, Bo.
Ariel.
What's up, Shark? Nice to see you, brother.
Hey, buddy. God, long time no see. Good to see you again.
What's up? Last time I saw our three faces together, we were in New York.
New York.
That's right. We were painting the town. That's right.
We were painting the town.
We truly were. That night, Ariel bought me a steak that was more than I can afford, and man, do I still appreciate it.
Steak dinner's always on me, Blaine. Steak dinner's always on me.
That was a great meal.
All right. Well, before we get started, Alex, if you could bring my screen up and let's see what Ariel thinks as far as the NASDAQ. You seem like a NASDAQ kind of guy.
The NQ?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If this isn't just an oversold rally, what are we looking at here? What's the strike?
11,000.
Will it finish above that in the next 30 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe it will. Yeah.
All right, Ariel.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm still of the mindset that, just seeing all this market breadth, and seeing a name like Netflix and Microsoft and Apple kind of pushing out the way they did today, this could very well be a few days. I mean, in terms of swing trading, I would tell anybody don't get too aggressive until we see a follow-through day. But obviously today, the market decided that oil energy was up on tap, and there were so many nice setups that decided to take off today from really nice little low cheat or breakout setups. So it was awesome to see, but 11,000, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that's like a given. It's 19.
Yeah. I mean, it really feels like a line in the sand there, honestly.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes are on Microsoft right now, just because of how powerful that thing has been. If Microsoft doesn't start to break down here, if Microsoft doesn't break below, 233 and closes above, the NQ will probably close exactly how Microsoft does. So really, I'm sitting there looking at Microsoft and thinking to myself, is this going to close below 233 in the next 40 minutes? I don't know. God, that's going to be a tough one. But I would say it stays above. It's only another half hour.
All right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some shorts kind of scared out of their mind at the end of the day.
We stand to make. God, this is everybody thinks it's gonna go above, but what the hell? There we go. All right, Alex, if you'll take this screen off, I've got to make $30 before the end of the day. So if you can't in green on a green day like today, then all right, Ariel. We have 7 minutes for you to tell us what's going on in Swing World.
Yeah, so over the last couple of weeks, biotech, I missed like the bounce from the 200 moving average on a lot of these oil and gas names like Oxy and DVN. But those are stocks that we're trying to break down essentially, and they're not eggs, they're tennis balls. And I always tell people you need to pay attention to the tennis balls. Over the last handful of days, a lot of those stocks just pulled back, and they pulled back to their ascending 10 and 20-day moving averages and began to find support. So, and obviously, you're in BSM, and we've been in that thing for a while now.
Yeah, we are.
A handful of days. And so today, I was about to cut the stream, and all of a sudden I just started to get alert after alert after alert. And I was just like PDCE, FANG, CVX, and it's like, so I scan at night, and when all of these names started hitting, I was just like, wait a second, like I can't leave the screens just yet, and this might've been like 9:30 in the morning. And I was like, all right, I might be done here. I'm just kind of managing what we have. And then all of a sudden, all these oil and energy names just start, leaving from these really nice setups, breaking out over yesterday's high on heavy volume, trending above the 10 and the 20. I try to not guess too much. When I get that many alerts hitting in the same sector, it's like, that's like a sector breath, right? You're just finding out that every single name is getting a bid. And I want to participate in that. But more importantly, we've been in names that have been working for a few weeks, REGN, LOY, and then recently INSW, TWNK, CCRN. So it's like, you're starting to see, some biotechs really holding up well, some pharmaceutical names really holding up well. Today, a few banking names were showing tons of strength that I got myself into one as well. So there's like this market-wide breadth, but it's not just that. It's, they're leaving from nice setups. They're not like these names that just have tons of overhead supply, maybe like a Microsoft, and it could very well just be some short cover rally, where those still have a lot of work to do to say, hey, this is definitely in a definitive uptrend, versus something like DVN, that bounced right off of its ascending 200-day, tried to undercut, bounced right from it, and then, you got the 10 and the 20 essentially showing up as new support, and they're continuing higher. So you see things like that, and, you want to participate in that sector. And again, same thing goes with biotech names. They've been showing insane amount of strength. You look at a chart like TH or RYTM or Lilly or, Biogen, McKesson, MCK. The list goes on and on and on and on about names that have just shown tons of strength in specific sectors, versus like utilities just still getting splattered, right? Maybe they bounced today a little bit, but nothing you'd really want to even, sit in for a while. So there's definitely some spot strength in the market. It's really nice to see. And I think, before people get even more aggressive, because even things like WWE are showing strength, this random ticker, not like this specific sector, right?
It's not random. If you, we gotta talk about wrestling here for a second, right?
So I like, I like these, that like you're getting like this spot strength in other things that aren't, biotech and energy. And that's always nice to see. Wrestling's just a form of, you spending your money on entertainment. But again, if a company's growing, if a company's got good fundamentals, if the companies are above the 10 and the 20 and they give you a tight entry, I always say, don't argue with it. Just figure out something tight and hop on board. But more importantly, do it when the market's in an uptrend. And right now, this could just be, we got the CPI washout, and that's an opportunity for big players to really take profits, like think about something like Tesla going down, 30% in 2.5 weeks. That's an opportunity for really big players to, just exit their shorts, maybe flip long, play it for a bounce, reshort somewhere up higher as it's finding maybe some resistance that movie. But the fact is there's nice sectors showing strength. And if you're focused on those and you wait for the market to give you a true follow through day, we don't know. I mean, that could have been bottom. I mean, nobody really knows. It's always hindsight, right? I mean, there's been a lot of bad news. Everybody was bearish. I even retweeted something the short bear said. And it's like, you just have so much negativity going into something that's already gone. You stretch the rubber band too far, too much, too quickly. And, that rubber band snaps back in the other direction. And if it's just a relief for a few days, then it's just relief for a few days. But if the market decides it wants to put in a follow through day and it's going to continue to be oil, energy, gas, or biotechs, then, that'll be a good focus. So
Ariel, what do you mean by a follow through day? Like, what would tomorrow need to look like?
Well, tomorrow doesn't need to be usually a follow through day. If you've ever studied, Bill O'Neill or even some of the, older school guys, really a follow through day occurs like on the 3rd to the 5th day after a bounce. And you're going to get a really big green day. You're going to get a really big push on higher than average volume versus your previous day. Right. And, there should, on that day, there should be some really nice market breadth too. You're going to get your Teslas and your Microsofts and your Apples and your Nvidias all pushing higher that day as well. Right. They carry tons of weight, and those are the ones that'll really drive the indices higher. But again, I don't necessarily want to focus on the names that are so beaten up. I'd rather focus on the names that are just trending above moving averages, because every time even that the market pulls back, those can show up as support, and you can end up being in a trade for weeks, months at a time. We've already been in a REGN and LLY for 10 days, another 10 days of trading, and that's a full month, and you don't know how long this sector can trend for. But a follow through day is really going to occur on the I would say, and remember we spoke about it on the phone, a follow through day would really occur sometime next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Realistically, even Friday next week. The market's given this really nice push today. It could give another halfway decent push tomorrow. We don't know what it does, obviously, with the futures over the weekend. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday can just chop around. And then Wednesday, we would get an abnormally big volume day, a big volume surge. And that's, the big players kind of reassessing the situation, what's going on, what stocks look strong. And then, they're going to take the weekend to think about it. And when they show up, it's like an elephant jumping into a pool, right? Or a bathtub. They're going to leave a big splash, right? And you can't miss them, right? Almost like you look at TQQ today, right? If that's short covering mixed with guys flipping their bias, essentially going long, or, it's covering and then going long. You get twice as much buying on a day like today. And you look at TQQQ, it's like the highest volume day of the year. So if and most of us have, you're looking at it now, Shark.
Yeah.
And a lot of us know, if you've studied charts and you've studied daily charts, guys know, hey, usually the biggest volume candlestick can mark a significant bottom, right? It really can. Now, does this roll over some more? It very well can. But heaviest green volume days can mark a significant bottom. And, for anybody that, maybe doesn't remember, if we go back to March and we look at some of the China names, like PDD, for instance, and you look at the volume that it put in at its low in March, it's ridiculous. And then it had a gap up and an even bigger volume day higher the next day after a big gap up. And those are just, elephants hopping into a bathtub, and you can't miss them. And again, usually very heavy volume days, they can mark a significant bottom. I don't know that that's going to hold true for TQQQ. When something gets as cheap as that does, and it's a triple leveraged ETF from the Qs. You can get, insane. 400 million shares at $20 is really, it's peanuts actually. When you think about maybe shorts covering their position, and then them flipping their position. Plus you got all these, you know, bullish dip buyers who are saying, hey, you know what, look at this bullish day. And then you got guys just buying every dip today. And so you can get some kind of abnormal looking volume on a day like today. But again, if you go back and study historical charts, you know, big volume days like this can mark a significant bottom, whether it's, you know, for the middle, like medium term, for another maybe a month rally. Because, you know, I had this thought, CPI comes out, you know, it kind of is what it is. We already know, but, you know, inflation has been going up. But then, you know, like this news was already expected, and now we're getting this ramp up higher. And, you know, we already know that the Feds will probably think about raising interest rates again. And I believe that happens next month, if I'm not mistaken. So why couldn't we rally for, you know, 3 weeks? You know, whether it's choppy or, you know, really ugly stair steps all the way up, why couldn't today be a low until, you know, the Feds raise interest rates and then we take another really ugly drop down? But essentially that could look like the market just building out a new base. You know, it'll frustrate the hell out of everybody, right? But, you know, there are still names out there that are working well, right? And if it's oil and energy, that's where we need to be. If it's biotech, then that's where we need to be. You know, the path of least resistance, the stocks with the least amount of overhead. I want to be in the places with the happiest investors. You know, I bought Twinkie yesterday, Hostess, and, you know, it's kind of slow, but it had a nice chart, and there's nobody pissed off in that chart. Why? Because it made brand new 52-week highs today. You know, there's not a bag holder in sight versus something like an AMD where every move up, you know, it's just filled with people. It's just people saying, hey, man, I can't wait to get green on my bag hold and then just get out, right? Causing more overhead supply.
Guys, don't shit on AMD. That's my girl.
No, I like AMD. I like the company. I like what they do, right? But if people are going to be buying less computers and their products are used in computers, you know, people, not everybody can buy a $3,000 or $2,000.
You like shorting it though, Penny. You just like playing game flag on it.
Correct. AMD is my favorite puts play because when she dumps, it is like, look out below.
It's also probably super liquid, isn't it?
It's a great options play. Ariel, I'm about to wrap up my time, but I have 2 quick things. First of all, do you have a boner mug?
No, but after today, I got to definitely buy one.
No, you cannot buy them. You cannot buy them.
Looking at this WRB chart, I need one of those mugs.
You can't buy them. The only way to get one is to go to placeyourtrades.com and put in your email. Everyone in the chat, get a mug. Placeyourtrades.com. Sign up.
There's an easy way to get it.
Our amazing newsletter, which I work on with Shy Girl, who is a total badass. You're gonna like, what is it?
I actually follow her on Twitter. Is that Tracy? Yeah. Her insights are awesome, especially in the energy space too.
Yeah, so. You're gonna want to get on this email. You're gonna like the way you look. That's a Men's Warehouse quote.
Love it.
Get on the email list. Get a boner mug. Get a newsletter. Just Ariel, talk about Mamba mentality. I would like quick story. 2 months ago, when I almost gave up trading, thought I couldn't do it, Ariel, who is my friend IRL, called me and he was like, girl, I'm not going to let you fail. I'm calling you every morning at 9 o'clock. We're going to go over charts at night. Like I'm going to hold your hand until we get through this. That was 2 months ago, and I'm trading better than I've ever traded. So way to be.
Patience is way up, and your patience is way up. And, you know, I've always told people, like, what's going to determine your patience is your position sizing and starting to understand a good setup. You know, you and I have run through them. Now, we've been stopped out of tons because we're in a crappy market, but you've studied these nice setups, and you, like, at one point, you're in 10 green trades. You know,
that was
it's
fun.
Like right now I'm in 19 names and they're all bright green, right? And that's like, but they're all nice setups. And I don't buy anything within a range. It's got to be leaving its range, and I size in properly, and I set my stop at the low day or the last low pivot on the daily, and just let time work. Don't let position size be the thing that has to pay you. Let time be the thing that pays you. And if you're really patient, you know, you can catch yourself an absolute monster winner when the market's done shaping up. And if it gives a follow through day, a lot of the names that, you know, you're already in, you're getting that constructive feedback from your own portfolio, you can add right to them, right? Because they've got good fundamentals, leaving from a clean base, already above their 10 and their 20 on the daily. They're in the right sector and the market's healthy. You start to piece all those things together, and you've already done that work because I've preached it to you 1,000 times, and you've bought
Sure.
a chart without me, and you're like, hey, I bought BSM. And I was like, what? And guess who's still in BSM? Why? Because it was already working before oil names decided to really boom today. And then oil names decided to go crazy, right? And so, of course, CVX and DVN and FANG and all those are going to drag up, BSM, even though BSM's not the leader in the space, right? But the fact is BSM had a nice little setup when you bought it. You knew your risk when you got in. You didn't get overly crazy, and you're still sitting in it today, and you're letting time pay you, and you're far from stressed in that trade. That trade doesn't even matter anymore.
Totally.
So,
Well,
and that you can get yourself into those kind of trades all the time. It's just a matter of waiting for the market. And like I said, I was going to get off my chair, and then all of a sudden I get alert. And I'm like, oil, what the hell is going on? And I was just like, well, sounds good. I'll just buy this and buy that and buy this, and just make sure you're sizing properly, set your stop where it's supposed to be. And if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you move on. But there's really nice market breadth going on today. I mean, it was pretty much a all around thing. None of us can say that it was just short covering, because it's probably short covering mixed with some guys going long as well,
Yeah.
And again, it's like we all knew inflation was going to come in hot for the most part, and we all probably expected a fat move down, but it's already been going down for like 12 of the last 14 sessions. It's a rubber band. How long the rubber band lasts and snaps back into the arches is anybody's guess. But if the market next week, Tuesday through Thursday, gives a nice follow through day, this could be a sustained rally for, at least until the Fed hikes again. And then we'll see. We can reevaluate. But in the meantime, you're in a bunch of positions that are paying you really well up until, hey, I know the Fed's probably going to increase interest rates tomorrow. Let me lighten up on some of my positions, and they'll end up maybe pulling back and see if they'll find some support on the rising 10-20. And if they shape up again, I'll add to them and still have, some position left. Like, I don't want to just sell, CCRN or AMLX or Lilly just because, CPI or interest rates are being raised tomorrow. Some stocks don't give a shit about, excuse my friend. Some stocks don't care about, interest rates. They just don't. They've already been going up despite interest rates. Yeah. And they're still, Twinkie's at 52-week highs. You think Twinkie cares about interest rates? No. Right. And even this morning, there was a little, I had this inkling feeling that the market was going to bounce when Domino's Pizza posted earnings, and they weren't that great, and it gapped up. And, when you see something like that, that's when you start to say to yourself, man, like, how much of all of this is baked in? If this stock's going to gap higher, if this thing's going to gap higher and earnings weren't that great, at some point you start to get that realization, like, a lot of these things are just too beaten up. So.
All right, Ariel, we love you so much. Thank you for being such a pillar of the trading community.
Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see
you.
Hey, are you coming to New York?
We're coming.
Yeah, I'll be there. Oh yeah, okay. I'm there in
right.
what is it?
So we're gonna be there in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Somebody owes me a steak, and his name is Ariel. Love you.
Yes, right. We'll talk to you. Have a good one.
Trevor, thank you. Trevor, hi.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Good. The voice of the Lakers has joined us.
Yeah, look at this.
Let's take a look at my portfolio real quick. So we're down to 31.
Yeah, let's see how you're doing. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah,
now, which one are you up the most on here? What's I can't.
The S&P. No.
Oh.
Was that you? Or was that Bo? That was you.
Going down.
All right. Let's take our last trade for the day. So, Trevor, I'm going to let you pick between copper, gold, or the S&P. Which chart would you like to look at?
I mean, just picking randomly here. I feel like, especially with that documentary you were talking about earlier with Redeem Team, we have to go gold.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
Ooh, this looks exciting. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left. Here, we'll pick the... Okay, well, I can't actually put in an order, which is totally fine, but will gold end above 1680? Ooh, and we're at 1671 right now.
Ooh, everything's so close.
Ooh, that's certainly a tough one. Let's be. I don't like the way that looks right now. I'm going to be optimistic though. Let's be positive again. If we're going to be speaking positively about gold, let's say above.
Okay. Oh, hi, Pax. Pax is here. Pax really saved me this morning. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, you know what? This looks very much like a little Head and Shoulders. You know who taught me about a Head and Shoulders? It's Shark.
Yeah.
Shark, what does a Head and Shoulders usually result in?
Well, if the neckline breaks, it usually heads down.
Heads down. All right. Well, we've got a tug of war here, and we'll see what happens. I love the gold pick. Let's go back and look at my where I'm only down $29. We need is a boner candle into the close to get my portfolio back green. Trevor, do you have a boner mug?
I do not. I guess I got to enter my email there.
I hope you went to placeyourtrades.com and entered that email. I'm going to be picking 10 winners to get a boner mug, not available anywhere else. I'm a broken record. Okie doke. Let's talk about basketball. Enough with the screen share, Alex. Let's see our beautiful faces. All right. So for those of you who don't know, and that's everybody, Trevor produces the Penny Lane podcast. So you are a basketball knowledgeable person as well as a trading knowledgeable person.
Do they have a name for that? Someone that knows a lot about basketball, an aficionado.
There you go. There we go. Yes, that is what I do. I cover the Los Angeles Lakers as well as the NBA at large for Lakers Nation. I also host the NBA front office show. So I spend a lot of time talking about basketball, watching basketball, going to basketball games, covering the sport. That's what I do most of the time when I'm not producing the Penny Lane podcast.
Of course.
So I need to slide into. It sounds like I need to slide into his DMs though. He's got all the good sports betting picks. You can tell me how the players are doing. And yeah,
I can't confirm or deny my success in that area, but I could probably give an educated opinion there. Yeah.
This sounds like a revenue stream, a backdoor revenue stream for the Penny Lane podcast. So, what do you think about Kobe Bryant?
What do I think about Kobe Bryant? From having covered him, from watching an entire 2 decades of his time with the Lakers, he's absolutely fascinating as a person, as a basketball player. Obviously, did some incredible things on the floor. But what always struck me about Kobe was his abilities to battle himself, battle his own will, and his ability to fight through just about anything. That the fight that we saw Kobe partake in every single season wasn't necessarily about he needs to beat the Washington Wizards on Wednesday night. It was about, can he get himself to become the absolute best basketball player that he can be? He was constantly fighting that internal struggle against himself, against the shortcomings of the human body at times, to try to maximize every ounce of basketball talent that he had. And that's certainly inspiring. I mean, it's a battle that we all fight against our own limitations, and he did everything I believe he possibly could to maximize his talents, perhaps to a degree that we haven't seen in the sport before. So absolutely obsessed with basketball, maniacal in his preparation, and maybe to an unhealthy degree, but he sure was successful because of it.
Have you seen the documentary I was talking about, The Redeem Team?
So I know a ton about the Redeem Team, but I have not seen it. Last week, I was in Las Vegas covering the Lakers for preseason. So while I was gone, my wife and I, we got this backlog of all this, like Bachelor in Paradise and 90 Day Fiance and all this stuff. So we've been having to make our way through that it's and so
So
I'm
that
that's
one
next
falls
up
low on
is
the
redeem.
on the list, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
well. See, we have this agreement that as long as I watch that stuff with her, I'm allowed to watch as much basketball as I want, and so I kind of have to live up to my end of the bargain there. But I know she wants to watch it too, so maybe we'll get to that one tonight.
So it was made by the same people as The Last Dance, which probably the best basketball documentary of all time. Maybe.
Yeah, certainly with the timing that it came out too. I mean, when the pandemic was really going on and people were stuck inside, to suddenly get The Last Dance coming out and to be able to see that and kind of relive that time for Michael Jordan, absolutely, yeah, it was a phenomenon. And you're seeing a lot more sports documentaries come out now, including the Redeem Team, as a result.
Mm-hmm. I have talked on Twitter a lot about how much I liked the recent mini documentary on And One.
Right. Yeah, they've been doing a few of those on Netflix. I haven't seen the And One yet. I saw the Tim Donaghy one. There have been a few others of those that I've watched, the ones that get into the the rise and fall and all that sort of stuff. But they're doing a tremendous job with all of this stuff, and it's great kind of getting the behind the scenes stories within the sports world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which professional basketball player of any time do you think best represents you as a person?
Me as a person, I would love to be able to say Kobe in terms of his obsession and all of that, but I don't think I've hit quite that level. I look at a guy though like kind of like a Derek Fisher, who was kind of a role player for much of the time and then kind of came into his own later on in his career, and people saw how much of an integral piece he was as he kind of found his niche. That's kind of what's happened to me in terms of my career in sports journalism and everything, starting off kind of slow and then eventually building up to where it is today, to where now this is what I do full time. So I think that would probably be my choice, and of course I have to go with the Laker.
Of course. Shark, do you have an answer to that?
I don't know too much about basketball, to be honest. So, I really couldn't comment on it. But I think that it definitely, that mentality that you were talking about, so, a lot of times professional sports is also kind of related or can be, facsimile of trading, because having that mindset of, the discipline and being able to, to drill and go back and look at tape, as I'm sure Brian probably watched, games, multiple times with his coach, with his team, and reviewing that, you can do that on toss too. You can play back the day and look at your trades, or even retrade the day, so I think that that's also really great about sports, and why so many people that were in sports, can get into trading or do, because it's that mindset of, growth mindset, always trying to improve, always trying to be better, and never settling. So, although I don't have an answer, I definitely relate to, that sports mentality. I mean, and how it can relate to what we do.
Totally. Absolutely. If I had to pick a basketball player to represent me, I think I would pick Scotty Pippen.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, love
90.
Scotty Pippen.
I mean, that was like our time though. It was like the '90s. The Bulls were hot. They had Pippen, Jordan, and Rodman. And it was.
I like Pippen because he's like in the mix, but he's not the guy, but he's like the guy. Like he's he's in there and he's cool and he's like on the team and he's assisting, and then he shines a little bit, and I'm like, love him.
And now his son is a Laker this season.
Oh wow.
Oh, what's
Scotty
his
Pippen
name?
Jr. Scotty Pippen Jr.
Of course. What else would he be named? Does he look like Scotty?
A little, not really, and he's shorter. He's a point guard, so he's not as tall as his dad. But yeah, he's Scottie Pippen showed up to a bunch of Lakers games and things like that to support him. But yeah, he's a point guard, so very different style of player and everything. But you can tell he's got that. He grew up around the game. You can tell by his tenacity and the way he approaches the game that he's had that upbringing.
I wonder if this is a thing, because I went to school with Patrick Ewing's son, and his name was Patrick Ewing Jr. So I'm wondering if it's a trend among basketball players.
Could be.
It certainly could. There have been a few guys who have parents who were in the NBA. You know, even Kobe Bryant, his dad was an NBA player at one point. So I think it certainly doesn't hurt your chances if you have a parent who was a professional athlete to follow in their footsteps.
Absolutely. Do you know anything about college basketball?
A little bit. I tend to look at college basketball through the lens of who's going to be drafted into the NBA because that is my laser focus. It's not something that I follow a ton until we get closer to draft time. So that's kind of how I approach college basketball, is just kind of keeping an eye on some of the top prospects. And then this year, the two top guys to be drafted, Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, who both just had an incredible exhibition, a couple games in Las Vegas last week. They're both not in college. You got one guy's playing in France, the other guy's playing in the G League for the Ignite. So I'll be honest, I haven't dug into college basketball a ton this year, and typically don't until we get to springtime when we get close to the draft.
Cool. Speaking of college sports, we have 7 minutes left. Would you like to stay on with me and Shark while we make some picks for college football this weekend?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let me move my screen over. Let's see if I can present here. Oh, hold on. Got to go back to slide number 1. Present. Here we go. All right. I'll go first. Trevor, you go second. Shark, you go third. Okay. Will Penn State win over Michigan at Michigan? I'm going to say no.
I will also say no.
Well, you know, Michigan hasn't been looking too good this year, but I do like them. And you guys both picked no, so I'm going to go the contrarian and say yes. I'm going to go for an upset then.
It's like taking calls at the Open this morning. Will Auburn win over Ole Miss at Ole Miss? Now, the last few shows, I've picked the power of the Grove at Ole Miss. I think that's a powerful thing. But Auburn has been looking good. Will Auburn win over Ole Miss? I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to go with the no. Ole Miss is a pretty heavy favorite based on the lines here, so I'm going to stick with them and say Ole Miss gets the win here, not Auburn.
All right.
I'm going to have to go with the no as well.
We'll see. Maybe it's an upset. Maybe not. All right. Will LSU win over Florida at Florida? I'm going to say yes because I hate the Gators.
Oh my God.
Hate is a strong word, but if you feel that strongly, I will go with you. I'll also say yes. I'll follow along on the bandwagon there.
You know, LSU, I like both teams, so it's hard for me to say. They're playing at Florida, you know, but LSU, I don't think they've been looking that good this year. And Florida's okay. I'm gonna say that no, I think they're going to lose. I think Florida.
Okay. This is the game of the weekend, in my opinion. Will Alabama win over Tennessee? Now, we've got College Game Day in Knoxville. Tennessee is on a tear this year, and Alabama's quarterback is injured. Because of those things, I am going to pick Tennessee in this game, so I'm going to go with the no.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. Tennessee is still the underdog right now, but I'm going to say they pull off the upset and get the win here.
Oh, I mean, you know, I might have to jump on the no there. I didn't know he was injured. So then they're in Knoxville. So those are definitely interesting factors. And I bet the line is definitely in Alabama's favor. You know, yesterday or last week I was betting on Texas to be. I saw your post, Penny. You were like, I guess I'm a Texas A&M fan now because they were.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Upset again. I know, and I was rooting for Texas, and I didn't work out for me.
Well, Bryce Young is out, the Alabama quarterback, and that's tough. But they did have a great second-string quarterback. I can't remember his name. The tide's going to roll. It's not about one player. It's about the Alabama Crimson Tide. But all right, you didn't make a pick. I interrupted you.
No, I'm gonna say. Well, my betting side's gonna say no because I want to bet that line because there's a better payout. So.
All right. Well, we're no's across the board. Will Clemson win? Clemson win over Florida State at Florida State? I'm going to say no.
I am going to go. That's a close one. I'll also say no. I say they won't.
I like. Yeah, I'm gonna say, and Scuba Steve's gonna get mad at me for saying this in the tank, but I'm gonna say yes.
All right.
Oh, well,
This is another big game. Will Georgia win over Vandy at UGA? Kirby Smart all week has been talking about how good Vandy is. I think Vandy is going to come out strong at the Open. I think they're really, really going to try to make a statement. They're having a fantastic season. But I think the magic of Athens and the amazingness of the Georgia Bulldogs will win out. So I'm going to take a yes, but I think it's going to be a very good game.
Penny, I'm going to be positive for your sake here. I'm going to say Georgia gets the win.
Thank you so much. Sharp?
I mean, you'll never talk to me. You'll disown our friendship. So yeah, I think they'll beat them.
All right, go Dogs. Oh, that's the last one. And we have 1 minute left in the market. Let's see how I did in my event. Oh, well, I lost $48. Happy birthday to me. Thank you for tuning into the show. If you can choose either a yes or a no, if you have that ability, you can trade event contracts. You don't need to know anything about stocks. You don't need to know anything about futures. You have to be able to make a decision. It is that easy. You can choose yes or no. Get signed up at Place Your Trades today. Give us your email. You'll be in for the newsletter, which is absolute fire. You'll be entered to win a boner mug, and you can just join us making cool trades. I mean, I've never traded a future before, and here I am. I've got like 7 open positions. If I can do it, you can do it. I believe there is something I need to read to close out this show. Oh, all right. Here is the end read. Hopefully it goes better than the opening read. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us, me, Penny Lane Blaine, and Place Your Trades on Twitter. And if you want to have a chance to win our weekly giveaway, go to placeyourtrades.com and sign up for our mailing list. And by a weekly giveaway, he means on this show, a boner mug. Happy birthday to me. Thank you to my friends for joining me. I love you all. This was so fun. Yay, Place Your Trades.
Yay, happy birthday, Penny.
Birthday.
Thank you so much for having me on and getting to do this with you. It was amazing.
This was a blast.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
See ya.